Picture this. You're just walking down the street, it's a completely normal afternoon, you're minding your own business, and then, boom. Right there on the pavement is a thick leather wallet. You reach down, you pick it up, and you open it. Inside you see a stack of cash right next to an ID card. In that exact split second, a choice is forced upon you. So, what would you do? Would you quietly pocket the money, or would you go totally out of your way to find the rightful owner? Now, this isn't just a fun, hypothetical thought experiment. It's actually the very foundation of a classic microstory that we are going to unpack today.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're looking at the anatomy of a micronarrative, The Honest Boy. We're going to see exactly how an entire story arc fits perfectly into under a minute.
Okay, let's dive into this. Notice right away that this entire narrative is explicitly engineered to fit a 45 to 60-second window. Honestly, that is an incredibly tight constraint. When you think about how a massive percentage of viewers will literally swipe away from short-form content within the first 3 seconds if they aren't completely hooked, you realize every single millisecond counts. In that tiny time frame, the writer manages to establish an inciting incident, present a really clear character dilemma, and deliver a complete, explicitly stated moral lesson. If you've ever wondered how content creators keep you glued to scrolling platforms, well, this is your answer. It is all about merciless efficiency. There is zero room for filler, and every single word has to earn its keep.
Right out of the gate, we meet our protagonist, Tom, who is simply walking home from school. Step 1, he finds a wallet on the road. Step 2, he opens it up and sees both money and an ID card. Step 3, he goes to the address on the ID. Look at how fast-paced this progression is. In just 3 short, incredibly punchy sentences, the script completely establishes the stakes. We don't get some long backstory about Tom's day at school. We don't get a flowery description of the weather. We instantly have a valuable object, a clear temptation in the form of cash, and a path to resolution through the identity card. The storytelling strips away all the fluff, so you immediately understand exactly what is happening.
Now, what's really interesting about this dilemma is the immediate contrast it sets up for our main character. The script tells us, instead of keeping it, Tom went to the address on the ID. In just that one tiny transitional phrase, the story highlights the very real temptation of the cash versus the noble action Tom actually takes. It subtly forces us, the audience, to briefly acknowledge the selfish option, keeping the wallet and the money, before immediately validating Tom's choice to be honest. It's this brilliant psychological trick to establish his character without having to spell out his internal monologue. You instantly know exactly who Tom is based purely on the rapid action he takes in the face of temptation.
So Tom gets to the address, an old man opens the door, and we finally get our very first line of spoken dialogue. "This is my wallet. I thought I had lost it forever." Just imagine the pure relief and joy in his voice. This one simple line of dialogue is actually doing a lot of heavy lifting. It instantly pays off the initial setup and confirms to us that Tom found the right guy. That emotional relief rewards the viewer for sticking around, and it completely, absolutely validates Tom's choice to do the right thing.
But, the script isn't quite done testing our protagonist just yet. The narrator steps back in with a really quick, totally unexpected pivot. The old man not only thanks Tom, but actively offers him a reward. This introduces a fresh, secondary conflict. It's kind of like a final character test. Tom has already done the right thing, sure, but will he now seek to profit from it? From a pure storytelling perspective, throwing in this little wrinkle right at the tail end of a 60-second script is just a fantastic way to maintain the viewer's attention a tiny bit longer. It adds this great new layer of suspense right before the final payoff.
Tom's response to this offer. It is swift and it is definitive. No, thank you. Doing the right thing is the best reward. Delivering this perfectly selfless refusal solidifies exactly who Tom is. In short-form storytelling, you simply do not have the luxury of time for deep, complicated nuance. You need bold, crystal-clear statements, and this one leaves zero ambiguity. In just a dozen words, Tom elevates himself from a kid who simply returned a lost item to an absolute paragon of virtue.
Right after Tom refuses the reward, the narrator gives us one final visual cue. The old man smiles proudly. That proud smile acts as the perfect, warm emotional transition. It signals to us that the narrative action is officially complete, and it paves the way for the script's final act. By visually concluding their interaction with that proud smile, the script transitions incredibly smoothly from the world of the characters directly into the final takeaway for the audience.
So the crucial point is this. The script ends with a literal mandate. Honesty always brings respect and happiness. It is absolutely fascinating how effectively this short script packages its ultimate message. It doesn't leave you guessing. It doesn't ask you to read between the lines. It just draws a direct, unmistakable line from Tom's actions, finding the wallet, resisting the temptation, returning it, and refusing the reward, straight to this concluding philosophy. For a micronarrative, ensuring your viewer leaves with a clear, resonant feeling is absolutely paramount. Stating the moral outright like this, it's a highly effective way to guarantee that impact.
We've seen how The Honest Boy takes a super simple premise and distills it into this hyper-efficient journey, going from a roadside dilemma straight to absolute moral certainty. But stories only really matter in how they reflect our own lives and our own choices, right? So I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought. Look back at Tom's final choice to refuse the money. Do you agree that doing the right thing is its own best reward, or do you think accepting the old man's cash would have been a perfectly fair exchange for a good deed? It is a timeless question wrapped inside a modern, bite-sized format. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember to always keep questioning the stories you consume, no matter how short they are.